Welcome to the American Dream, a show that started right here in San Diego, America's finest city, that now spans positive media all across the country, real stories in real neighborhoods. Hi, I'm your host, Craig Sewing, and here's the American Dream. Welcome to the American Dream, a real show, not a reality show. The real estate, the lifestyle, the culture.
It's not just about what you're living in, but the community you're going to live in.
High-rise luxury living.
People are the vehicle, people are the connection, people are the expansion.
Helping folks just like you find your dream home.
It just never disappoints.
Real stories in real neighborhoods with real experts. The opportunity to achieve our biggest goals and aspirations.
Here's the American Dream.
Hey friends, this is Rodolfo Duke with the American Dream TV. And today, I'm feeling like James Bond with the Land Rover team. So why people are moving to Charlotte? Charlotte is located 3 hours away to beautiful beaches, 3 hours away to mountains. Today, we're visiting Asheville, North Carolina for an exclusive Land Rover experience. Are you ready for this? Above and beyond, since 1948, Land Rover vehicles have been around the globe. Let's meet our friend Matt. Matt, thank you so much for having us over, man.
Absolutely, we were glad to have you here. So, yeah, it's going to be a great day.
Great. One of the questions that comes to my mind, what can our viewers expect from this experience today?
Sure. So we've got a lot of great terrain to work with. We're going to take these vehicles out and drive them in an off-road environment. And you'll be doing most of the driving, so that'll be fun to do. And we've got a lot of hill climbs and hill descents and mud and water we still got there on the trail, so it should be a lot of fun.
Okay. Can we see the vehicles now?
Absolutely.
Woohoo!
It's a beautiful day, man.
Oh, it is a great day. You're going to have a lot of fun. At this point, I'm going to introduce you to Darren. He's going to be your instructor, and he's going to teach you some of the off-road fundamentals that we were chatting about earlier. So let's go meet Darren.
Awesome. Hey, man, I'm Rodolfo.
Darren.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
So what are we looking at here with this vehicle?
Well, this is a vehicle we're going to be taking out today, at least one of them. So this is Defender 130. So we do have different types of off-roading. You've got people that have seen rock crawling, off-road racing, stuff like that. So what we're more focused on is what we have historically talked about as expedition style driving, okay? Which is basically saying, hey, we're at point A, we've got to get to point B, and that vehicle is our lifeline. Our goal today is to learn to drive in an off-road environment, maybe deal with a little bit more extreme conditions, and not destroy your vehicle in the process, right? Just some general areas we need to be aware of. The first is what's going to be referred to as the approach angle of the vehicle. So basically, if you take the contact patch of the front tires where they meet the ground, and we come forward to our furthest lowest point, which would be roughly here.
Correct.
That's what's going to be what's referred to as the approach angle. Where you may see that come into play, you're going through a ditch or maybe going up a very steep hill. If that hill or that ditch had a more aggressive angle than what we had on the vehicle, you're going to be pushing the front of the vehicle into the ground before the wheels had a chance to roll up, okay? Okay, so what we'll talk about now is what's called the ramp breakover, okay? And basically what that's gonna refer to is the contact patch of the front tires up to roughly the center of the wheelbase, up to the frame, back down to the contact patch of the rear tires.
Okay.
So kind of a triangle, right? So where that would come into play is we're cresting a very sharp hill. If that hill has a more aggressive angle than we have, then we're going to be frame on what's typically referred to as high centered before the rear wheels had a chance to roll over.
Understood.
Right? So that could be a problem.
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to do now is get in. I'm going to take you on a quick loop. We're going to set up the vehicle for off-road.
All right.
See if we can have some fun.
I can't wait. thank you so much for taking us this far. I know that this Land Rover experience is only available in 3 markets in the whole US. Why North Carolina?
That's a great question. Yeah, so we're uniquely located here to do 2 things primarily. First is we have great topography to work with here in the Southern Highlands of the Appalachian Mountains. So that gives a lot of great terrain to work with to highlight the features of our vehicles in an off-road environment. We're also in an area that's sort of centralized for getting our customers from the eastern seaboard all the way down to Miami and South Florida, even out to eastern Texas. So if you're in any of that area, if you want to do the experience, we're the closest location for you. So that's really why we're here.
Well friends, thanks for watching today's segment with Land Rover Experience Above and Beyond. This is Rodolfo Duke. Until next time.
Welcome to iconic Charlotte Motor Speedway, one of North Carolina's hottest attractions. I'm Janet Wilson Russell, your host for today's episode of the American Dream TV. I, along with my good friend Matt Long, who's Vice President for Corporate Sales here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, are going to take you around this 2,000-acre facility. Matt, I'm so excited. I know you get to come here every day for work, but I'm just really geeking out right now. Tell us and the viewers a little bit about what goes on here at the Smith Tower and, of course, here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
So we're standing right outside Smith Tower, our office tower, and this is the backdrop is Charlotte Motor Speedway. So you can hear some cars in the background. We host a little over 1,400 events a year on our whole property. So beyond the big 2 NASCAR races that we have, the Coca-Cola 600 and the Bank of America Roval 400, we also do a Christmas light show. We do driving schools like Ford Performance Racing School, and we do so many other small events like that. When we say America's home for racing, we mean it. If it drives, moves, has a steering wheel, chances are it's probably raced here, and we like to do things big.
So Matt, we've made it up to the 6th floor. We're in the Speedway Club. It's a great dining facility, hosts tons of events. Tell us a little more about it.
The Speedway Club here overlooks the Speedway and hosts various other meeting rooms. We have rooms small enough for a board meeting. We have rooms big enough for a wedding. But the main attraction up here is the eating and dining area. It's open to the public, open 6 days a week for lunch and dinner, and they offer special memberships if you want to do that for race time. You can get special access to tickets. You can dine here and watch the NASCAR races. It's one of 2 places like this. Like I mentioned, Texas Motor Speedway, our sister track down in Fort Worth, they have one of these too. So it makes it a pretty unique place.
So now we've left the oval track and made it over to C-Max, the drag strip. And it's just an amazing view up here. We're enjoying being on top of the tower. The tower has 16 luxury suites, and then the grandstands, there's another 24 luxury suites around there, and those are full come race day. Matt, tell us a little bit about what goes on here.
So Z-Max Dragway, it's been coined the Bellagio of drag strips. It's a beautiful place, one of the newest dragway facilities in the country. It's when it was built, first of its kind, it was a 4-lane drag strip. You can see it behind me instead of the traditional 2-lane. So we host 2 annual NHRA events, one in the spring, one in the fall. We do some concerts in the parking lot out here. We do some driving schools. One thing we do here during the school year is we host about 15 to 20,000 kids annually to be part of our STEAM program, formerly STEM, and we host all those kids in the 3 floors here in the Z-Max Tower. Again, it plays into the motorsports crowd, the concert crowd, the car enthusiasts, and we like to give back to the community as well.
I love asphalt, but you've gotten me over here at the dirt track, the oval. I'm so excited This is where I feel the most home. Growing up as a little girl, my dad used to take me to the dirt track, so this is an awesome feeling.
This weekend's event is called the World Short Track Championship, and it's a precursor to the World Finals event that comes up next week, which features, the World Finals is more the professionals on dirt racing, the race for a living. This is all the divisions of the blue-collar guys that race on every Friday and Saturday night. We have a record car count this year, 522, I believe, is the car count, of like 7 different classes that race all over the country. And so the dirt track is, we do 3 major events a year: a monster truck show, the World Short Track Championship, and then the World Finals. And so this is a fun time of year for the staff. They love coming to the dirt track. I love coming to the dirt track. I grew up in dirt racing, and so I'm actually participating in this event. We'll be out here later tonight.
I'll be cheering you on from the suite next door with all the family and friends, and we appreciate you so much, and we're wishing you luck and wishing you well. Until next time, I'm Janet Wilson Russell with American Dream TV. See you then.
Hi, I'm Lisa McCrossan, your host of American Dream TV Charlotte. I am so excited to share with you tonight. We're going to take you behind the scenes of the Hardest Yard on Gala. The Hardest Yard is a charity that was founded by Greg and Kara Olson in 2013 to benefit pediatric cardiovascular patients. Let's go inside and see this amazing event. So Greg, what can you tell me about the Charlotte community's support of the Hardest Yard?
Yeah, I mean, we would not have nights like tonight here at S8E44 if it wasn't for the city really wrapping their arms around us from the very beginning. When we first shared TJ's story before he was even born, the amount of, the outpouring of support from this local community, who at the time didn't really know our family that well, is really at the backbone of how we've been able to grow this. And now here we are. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary of the Hardest Yard last year, and we think the next 10 years will be even better than the first 10. And the only reason we can do it is because every event we put on the calendar, every time we send out things, the amount of people that support, yes, we're in, yes, we support your mission, not only for your family, but for these heart kids. And we're very thankful for that support. And as long as people continue to come, we'll continue to put on cool events.
And speaking of continuing to come, what about folks who are not as familiar with the Hardest Yard? How can they get involved?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways. I mean, throughout the course of the season, our calendar events are pretty extensive. And, we have kind of small, intimate nights like tonight. We have our 5K where thousands of people will come out in the spring. We have golf outings. We have Fit Fest events we held at Panther Stadium the last couple of years. But you can also volunteer. TheHardestYard.org. You can find all information about our stuff. You can donate. You can put together teams to run in the 5K. We love volunteers to help check people in or go out and try to solicit new people. So there's so many ways to get involved.
Why did you and Kara choose to make Charlotte your home?
Yeah, we had no intentions. When I got traded here, we didn't really know anything about Charlotte, really. And obviously, it was in the beginning, it was just a place where I was playing, and we were going to put down some roots and just kind of figure out what this city was all about. And we learned pretty quickly, especially going through everything we did with TJ and Levine Children's Hospital being right here. This is what our kids know. This is their home. This is where they were brought up. This is where they're raised. So everything about this city we just love, and obviously our foundation and our roots here with Levine Children's is a big part of that. But everything about this city and the Carolinas as a whole just connects really well with us.
Fantastic. Well, have a great time tonight.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You. Oliver, what made S8E44 want to get involved with the Hardest Yard?
Well, about 3 years ago, Greg and I had met through a mutual friend, and I heard the story of the foundation and what they were doing and how that all started for their family. Immediately talked to Jeff and Mike Mastro about it. Guys, this is fabulous what they're doing, and they're making such an impact. And that was it. And they agreed right away and said, hey, listen, we want to be a big part of it, and whatever we can do, and that's it. So we end up being a very small part of their amazing work, but a big event for them, so we're excited.
I was going to say, actually, I feel like you're a big part of their work. And this is such a big event. How long does it take the restaurant to get ready for it?
We start planning each year, probably about 3 months before the event, but Greg and his team are planning all year long, and it's a terrific time. When we open in a community like Charlotte, which is so wonderfully giving, and we have the opportunity and the ability to give back like this, it's a special thing. We're grateful for it.
It's a win-win for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Samantha, how long have you been working with the Hardest Yard?
Oh my goodness. It goes way back to when the twins were little. I actually knew Greg and Kara. I used to babysit them, and I still do. But working full time for Greg has been going on 5 years now.
5 years, wow. And about how much money does tonight's event raise for the Hardest Yard?
It's probably over $200,000.
Wow,
which
that's
is
fantastic.
amazing.
That is amazing.
The Olsons are extremely generous, kind people to the Charlotte community, and just seeing TJ grow throughout all these years, and now he has a full heart. It brings joy to other families that go through CHD, and it's a huge support system.
And that's absolutely what this whole organization is about.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this event as much as I did. For American Dream TV Charlotte, I'm Lisa McCrossin. See you next time.
I'm Rachel Demeter, and on today's episode of The American Dream, I'm going to walk you through the Dowd Center Theater in Monroe, North Carolina. I love the theater myself, and I'm really excited that this is here just 30 minutes outside of the city. So let's go inside and I'll show you around. Some people have said that Charlotte has lost a little bit of culture, that we don't have a good theater system. So just 20 miles down the road, southeast of Charlotte, there's this beautiful theater. It's called Dowd Center Theater. They do exhibits, they do shows, they do concerts. It's a great alternative for people who are looking for some culture in the city but aren't quite getting it. I'm on stage today with Pete Hovanek, who is a tourism director of Monroe, North Carolina. Thank you for chatting with me today.
You are very welcome. Thanks for being out here.
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to ask a little bit about the city of Monroe and just a brief history, anything you can give us.
City of Monroe is a wonderful place. It's really come a long way. We're sitting in the historic Dowd Center Theater, and it has truly served as a catalyst for growth and development in our downtown. We are perfectly poised with residential, with jobs, with you name it. We're ready for it here in the city of Monroe. And like I said, this beautiful facility is driving a lot of growth in our downtown. You'll get out and see the breweries, the restaurants, the retail. It's just such a cool place to live, come and play.
Yeah, and when did that kind of all change? Like what years do you think Monroe really became on the map?
That's a great question. Monroe has been kind of on the back burner over the past couple of years. You've seen this explosion of growth around Charlotte, Indian Trail, Weddington, Waxhaw, and those areas are really getting built out. So now that growth is finally hitting Monroe. We have the infrastructure, we have the water, the sewer, the police, the electric. We have all that infrastructure to sustain that growth, and we're seeing it.
Yeah.
We have thousands of new homes coming on the books over the next 5-10 years, and amenities like this really make it a great place to live and just raise your kids and raise a family.
Yeah. So we're sitting in the Dowd Theater right now. What is your relation to this theater?
So my role with the city, it's kind of complex. I'm the communication and tourism director, so I do a lot of the PR and a lot of the public outreach. But also on the tourism side, we've created destinations. We've created we've created the Monroe Science Center around the corner and the air show and just different things to pull people in to enhance the quality of life. So I oversee the operation out here. We've got great staff, and we've just brought in some really cool entertainment that is multicultural, multi-generational. We want to infuse that culture and infuse that diversity into our community. We don't want to force it onto people, but we want to have that as an option. Back in the day, you asked earlier, when did this start? So probably about 5-10 years ago, you'd come into downtown Monroe after 5 o'clock and it was a ghost town. Now there's people walking the streets and going from restaurants and different venues. So it's really cool to see that foot traffic and for people to have that option to go out. And it's easy to get in. You're not paying $20 for parking. You're not trying to fight your way through crowds. It's 560 seats, but it's comfortable. You know what I mean? You're not crammed in. It's easy. It's the same caliber stuff that you're going to see in Charlotte. And I'd even say it's better because you have that familiarity and you have that closeness, and it's just a totally different experience.
Well, I appreciate your time. We'll be back again and hopefully see another show here.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'm sitting here with James Vesh, who is the operations supervisor at the Dowd Center Theater here in Monroe. Thank you for speaking with me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about this room and where we are.
This is a gallery. We call it the gallery of the theater. The theater is actually in two parts. The original theater was a movie theater, 560 seats. This room that we're in was an add-on addition that was purchased by the city, and we use the gallery for a number of different functions. And as you can see right now, we have an ongoing exhibit from a local artist. Ryan Curitan is his name. But we've had other artists that represent different cultures, different perspectives. We have an art walk that we participate in twice a year. So you get a group of community artists, and there's an appeal across the board to just about everybody.
Yeah. What is the future of this place? What would you like to see? And how are you attracting people to come to Monroe from the Charlotte area?
Well, we'd like to expand our programming and have what most theaters have. We've only been open a little over 2 years, and we're aiming toward an actual established season where we have subscribers and we can have a steady stream of different kinds of programming. We have a regular movie schedule now, mainly classic movies and retro movies that have good response to that, but we have a number of ticketed events. We're also a rental center so that people can actually either rent this space or rent the theater for different functions. We have a lot of civic functions. A lot of business organizations come here, but mainly we're kind of aiming toward a stable season of a variety of different forms of entertainment.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me. And
my pleasure.
We'll come back again and watch another show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you know that Charlotte boasts a vibrant art scene with something for everyone to enjoy? Welcome to another exciting episode of the American Dream TV Selling Charlotte. I'm your host, Tiffany Moten, and today we're diving into the cultural heartbeat of Charlotte. Joining me today is the incredibly talented Maurice Mouzon Jr. with the Charlotte Ballet. Fantastic having you here with us today, Maurice. Could you tell our viewers a little bit about your dance background and your journey with the Charlotte Ballet?
Yes, so I started out in sports, but then I realized that I didn't really want to do that. So I kind of focused more on my dancing abilities that didn't really come out of nowhere, but I was always kind of a mover. So I took the YouTube to learn a few things, especially at the time it was Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, and Usher that I was inspired by. And I learned a few of their moves, and my friends told my middle school teacher that I like to dance, and she asked if I can perform for her. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And I did. It was kind of embarrassing, but she can tell that I had a passion for it. So she printed me out an application for Baltimore School for the Arts, where I attended high school. And somehow, some way, without any training, they accepted me and taught me everything I knew about dance. The one thing that I love about Charlotte Ballet is that it's such a versatile company, and we're not just focused on one dance style. We kind of do it all, basically, from ballet to jazz to contemporary to modern. And it also focuses a lot on individuality. So you're able to we're all doing the same work, but each individual person stands out within that work. So it's kind of like dancing in a company full of soloists. And it's so important that I feel like the Charlotte audience should see what we do, just to spark interest, to spark curiosity, to also pull out more of their artistic abilities, to be inspired. It's just so important, and I think it's a beautiful thing to see, and also to watch people blossom as well in whatever they do artistically wise.
Now let's talk about your experience with the Dancing with the Stars of Charlotte fundraising competition and gala. I know you won the Judges' Choice Award. That was amazing. Tell our viewers about that experience.
Yeah, it was a super fun experience just to bring in different community leaders and kind of show them what we do for work and kind of get a peek into what they also do for work. But then to also be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. And so to know that like I'm raising money for, last year it was the homeless in the housing community, and this year is for Levine's Children's Hospital. It's been super fun just to have these ladies come in. Kim Henderson, speaking on her, I remember her telling me that she's danced before, but only when she was a little girl, and she hasn't really touched it since then. So to come in and do intricate movement like that, I think it's kind of like mind-boggling to some people who they're like, wow, I didn't really think that you had that in you, and to also see the level of confidence that she had as well, to just like step in a role of becoming a dancer, which is no easy feat.
After an enlightening interview, I'm off to meet some friends at the Monarch Market, a culinary collective in the heart of Center City. Join me as we continue to explore the American dream. I'm Tiffany Moten, your host, signing off.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show, produced from America's finest city, but shot in the heart of your neighborhoods. Don't forget positive media when the world really needs it. Follow us on social media at The American Dream TV. See you next time. In the meantime, cheers to your American dream.